Hello everyone, it's GW Stefini and welcome back to the channel.
Today, we are diving deep into a culinary world rich full of history packed with flavor. We're on the streets of Afghanistan, exploring the incredible food scene, bustling markets, vibrant alleyways, food that tells a story, food that brings people together, food that is just unbelievably delicious. Get ready. Unforgettable journey, one bite at a time. The aromas, the sounds, the incredible hospitality, sizzling kebabs, delicate dumplings, savory rice dishes, sweet, sticky treats, the variety is staggering. Every dish has a soul tradition passed down through generations. You can taste that love and history. All right, first up, we're starting with something I've been smelling from a block away. We are here for Bolani. Look at this setup. You can see the master at work, stretching the dough so incredibly thin it's almost transparent. He's working with such speed and precision, it's mesmerizing to watch. This is true artistry. The air is thick with the smell of hot oil and fresh herbs. He's stuffing it right now, and you can choose from a few different fillings. The most classic ones are gandana and also kachalu. Today, I think we have to go for the gandana. You can see the vibrant green filling being spooned onto one half of the paper-thin dough before it's folded over and sealed. It's a perfect half moon. A little pocket of pure deliciousness just waiting to be fried to golden brown perfection. He's pulling it out of the oil now, letting it drip for just a second. Wow, look at the color on that. It's a perfect golden brown, blistered and bubbly all over. The steam is just pouring off of it. He's handing it to me on a piece of paper and it is piping hot. Before I even take a bite, the aroma is just incredible, toasty, a little oily in the best way with that fresh oniony scent of the leeks inside. Okay, here we go, the first bite. Oh wow, that crunch. You hear that? That is the sound we are chasing next. We have found a legendary spot for chapli kebab, and the smell is just intoxicating. It's a mix of sizzling meat, fragrant spices, and grilling tomatoes that just pulls you in from the street. The name chapli comes from the Pashto word for flat, and you can see why. These aren't your typical round patties, they're huge, flat discs of minced meat, expertly shaped by hand. It's a spectacle of sight, sound, and smell. The butcher, the kebab master, is right here, mixing the meat in a huge bowl. He tells me it's a mix of lamb and beef with a specific fat ratio to keep it unbelievably juicy. But the secret is in the spice blend. I can see crushed coriander seeds, chili flakes, cumin, and other secret spices I can't even identify. He's also mixing in chopped onions, tomatoes, and fresh cilantro. He works the mixture with his hands, ensuring every single bit is packed with flavor. There's a real rhythm to his movements, a skill that's been honed over many, many years. Now watch this. He takes a huge handful of the meat, slaps it between his wet palms, and flattens it into that signature shape. Then he presses a slice of tomato right into the center before sliding it into a massive, shallow pan filled with sizzling hot fat. The moment it hits the pan, it just erupts with sound and steam. He's got about 10 of them going at once, a beautiful symphony of sizzling kebabs. He flips them with incredible speed, each one getting a perfect dark brown crust. We can't talk about Afghan food without talking about the national dish, Kabuli pulao. While it's often found at celebrations and in homes, the street food version has its own unique charm and energy. We found a vendor who serves it out of these enormous steaming pots. Just lifting the lid releases a cloud of fragrant steam, sweet spices, caramelized carrots, tender meat. It's a beautiful sight, a mountain of fluffy rice, long grain rice studded with jewels of color. The foundation of this dish is the rice. It's not just boiled, it's a multi-step process. Parboiled, steamed in a rich broth made from lamb. This infuses every single grain with an incredible depth of flavor. But what truly makes Kabuli pulao special is the topping. Look at this. He's spooning on a generous amount of carrots. Julienne carrots, carrots slowly cooked in oil and sugar, sweet and tender carrots. A pile of plump, dark raisins. Bursts of sweetness from the raisins. The combination of sweet and savory is central to Afghan cuisine. The savory, meaty flavor of the rice and the lamb is perfectly complemented by the sweetness of the carrots and raisins. Now for something a little more delicate, a little more refined, but still pure comfort food. We are having Mantu, the famous Afghan dumplings. Here on the street, they're made in these incredible multi-layered steaming pots, constantly puffing out clouds of steam. It's such a social food. You see groups of friends and families gathered around sharing plates of these beautiful little parcels. The process of making mantu is pure artistry. The dough is rolled out incredibly thin, then cut into small squares. Inside each square goes a small spoonful of filling. The real skill is in the folding. Each dumpling is intricately pleated and twisted into a beautiful uniform shape. They look like little works of art before they're even cooked. Once steamed, the magic really happens when the sauces are added. These aren't just served plain. First, a layer of a yogurt sauce called chaka is spread on the plate. It's a tangy, garlic-infused, strained yogurt that provides a cool, creamy base. The hot, steaming mantu are then carefully arranged on top of the yogurt. But it doesn't stop there. The final and most crucial layer is a hearty tomato lentil sauce or split pea sauce, which is generously spooned over the dumplings. You can't walk through a market in Afghanistan without encountering the glorious sambosa. They are everywhere, and for very good reason. While the sambosa, or samosa, is found all over Central and South Asia, the Afghan version has its own distinct character. Thin pastry shell, crispy texture, flaky layers that shatter when you bite. A family making them for generations. Father at the huge wok of bubbling oil, son and mother folding sambosas with lightning speed. The full, well-oiled production line, rolling out thin dough and cutting into strips, spoonful of filling placed at the end, folding over and over into triangular shapes, spiced potato and pea mixture, savory minced meat filling. I have to try both. He wraps one of each in newspaper, fresh batch dropped into hot oil. They puff up. Sambosas dancing in bubbling oil, turning them until perfectly golden brown. Sizzling sound and oil sheen, scooping with a large slotted spoon to drain. Piled on a tray, little golden pyramids, wrapped in newspaper and handed over, heat and steam seeping through the paper. After all that fried goodness, it's time for something to soothe the soul. We're here for shorwa, which is the Afghan word for a rich, slow-cooked soup or stew. In the cool evenings, there is nothing more comforting than a hot bowl of shorwa. We're at a small, humble stall where a giant pot has been simmering away over a low flame all day long. The owner lifts the lid, and this incredible, deeply aromatic steam billows out, smelling of lamb, vegetables, rich spices. Shorwa is the epitome of slow food. It's not something that can be rushed. It typically starts with pieces of lamb, often on the bone, slow-cooked for hours, until the meat is meltingly tender and the broth has extracted all of that amazing flavor. Then, hearty vegetables are added, potatoes, carrots, chickpeas, whatever else is in season. The vegetables become soft and infused with the meaty flavor of the broth. It's a simple rustic dish, but the depth of flavor is just profound. The way it's served here on the street is what I love. It's not just soup in a bowl. The vendor takes a bowl and starts by tearing up pieces of fresh, hearty naan bread, placing them in the bottom. This is called tarid, and it's a brilliant way to eat soup. The bread soaks up all of that incredible broth, becoming soft and delicious, turning the soup into a truly substantial and filling meal. It's resourceful, it's genius, and it's how it's been eaten for centuries. He's now ladling the hot shorwa over the bread. Plenty of the broth, big chunks of potato, carrot, and a generous piece of that fall-apart tender lamb. We've seen it served with the kebabs, we've seen it with the shorwa. But now it's time to give this incredible bread the spotlight it deserves. This is Afghani naan, and it is the foundation, the anchor of almost every single meal here. Forget the small, perfectly round naan you might be used to. Afghani naan is huge, long, paddle-shaped. It's a magnificent sight, and the bakeries that produce it are some of the most fascinating places to visit. We're at a traditional nanwai or bakery, and it is hot in here. The heart of the operation is the tandoor, a massive clay oven dug into the ground. The baker, a true master of his craft, works with incredible speed and rhythm. He takes a piece of dough, stretches it out into that long, characteristic shape, and then using a special padded tool called a rafida, he slaps the dough directly onto the searingly hot inside wall of the tandoor. After all those savory, spicy, hearty dishes, it's time for a refreshing break. And in Afghanistan, that means one thing: sheer yak. This isn't your ordinary ice cream. The name literally means frozen milk, a traditional Afghan dessert unlike anything you've tried. Sheer yak frosh vendors pack unique metal cylinders with the ice cream mixture. They place the cylinders in a wooden bucket filled with ice and salt. No modern machinery involved. Hand-cranked, manual turning in the ice bath. Labor-intensive process resulting in a truly unique texture. Not smooth like gelato, slightly granular. Icy, crystalline from slow churning. Incredibly refreshing and light. The real star is the flavor. Flavored with cardamom and rosewater, fragrant, floral, exotic. Vendor scoops it out, studded with chopped pistachios, sometimes almonds. scooping a generous portion into a small bowl, sometimes topped with kaimak, thick clotted cream drizzle. Classic version, pale off-white flecked with green. Aroma, rosewater perfume and warm cardamom spice. Smells like a frozen garden. We are nearing the end of our food tour, and we have to finish with something unapologetically sweet. And for that, we're turning to the glistening, bright orange spirals of jalebi, or as it's often called here, zulbia. You can spot a jalebi stall from a mile away. The sight of these intricate, tangled webs of fried dough being drenched in syrup is just mesmerizing. The process starts with a thin, fermented batter, which is key to its unique flavor and texture. That batter has a slight tanginess that balances the intense sweetness. The jalebi maker pours this batter into a cloth or into a bottle with a small hole, then, with a flick of the wrist, pipes chaotic spiral shapes into a huge pan of hot oil. Close-up of spirals frying until crispy and golden. The moment they come out of the oil, still sizzling, they're plunged into warm sugar syrup. This is the crucial step. The hot, crispy jalebi act like a sponge, soaking up the syrup. The syrup is often flavored with saffron, which gives jalebi its bright orange-yellow color, and sometimes with a hint of rosewater or cardamom. They sit in the syrup for just a minute before being lifted out, dripping with sweetness and piled high on a tray. They glisten under market lights like edible jewels. After that incredible journey through the savory, the crispy, the comforting, and the sweet, there is only one way to finish a true Afghan food experience. And that is with a simple, steaming glass of chai. Not the milky, spiced chai you might be thinking of, but Afghan green tea, known as chai sabs. It is the drink of hospitality, of conversation, of reflection. Everywhere you go, you will be offered a glass of tea. It's the punctuation mark at the end of every meal. We've sat down at a small tea house, a chaikhana, where men are gathered, talking and slowly sipping their tea. The vendor has these beautiful ornate teapots called samovars that are constantly bubbling away, keeping the tea hot. He pours the pale green liquid from a great height into a small, delicate glass, a technique that aerates the tea and cools it just enough to drink. The color is a light golden green, and you can see the steam gently rising from the glass. What makes Afghan green tea special is the addition of spices, and the most common and beloved is cardamom. He takes a few green cardamom pods, crushes them slightly to release their oils and fragrance, and drops them directly into the glass. As the hot tea swirls around them, the air fills with that unmistakable warm, aromatic, and slightly citrusy scent of cardamom. It's a smell that is both invigorating and calming at the same time. There is a ritual to drinking this tea. It's meant to be sipped slowly, to be savored. It's not something you rush. It's a moment to pause, to digest not just the food you've eaten, but the experiences of the day. It cleanses the palate after all the rich flavors. I'm taking my first sip. That is the perfect ending. The green tea itself is light and has a subtle, grassy bitterness, but the cardamom completely transforms it. It adds a warmth and a fragrance that perfumes every single sip. It's soothing, it's warming, and it feels like the most natural and perfect way to bring this incredible food tour to a close. It ties all the flavors we've experienced today together in one final comforting embrace. For more amazing food and drinks tips and recipes, subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon so you never miss an update from us. Tell us about your thoughts in the comment section. Check out our other videos for more culinary inspiration. We love you. Until next time, keep cooking, stay adventurous.